Good morning. How are we this morning? Good morning, Instagram. Good morning. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. How are you doing this morning? It's a good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see if we can get this brighter. Okay. So, guys, we are here this morning for morning inspiration, and I am trying to see, but I am trying to see. But so anyway, yesterday we kicked off with I was talking about the 5 stages of transformation, and so this morning where we are on the second morning, and this is Tuesday's truth. Right, this is Tuesday's truth. So you all know you always get a golden nugget on a Tuesday, and that's what I've been told anyway. You get a golden nugget on a Tuesday. Look, I'm looking for some assistance this morning. All right, so it's Tuesday's truth. So yesterday we looked at the first thing, and that for me is the awakening stage. It's the awakening stage where you become aware and awaken of you become awake of your situation, your surroundings, your environment, the people that you were around, and it's really a place of where you learn the skills of bouncing back. Yeah, and this steps through transformation is all about bouncing back. These are the tools and the strategies that I use and have used in times of real difficulty. All right, so it's about using that internal like sat nav that you have to guide you and steer you through. And yesterday we talked about lots of different things. So if you missed it, go back. It is on YouTube, and you can just access it there and then on my page at Yvonne Michelle. Right. And so today we are looking at tip number 2, and that for me is acceptance. And so it's, what are we accepting though? Because we talk about these things a lot. We talk about these things a lot in our everyday life about, oh, we have to accept this and we have to accept that, and this has happened and that's that, and we've accepted so much. What you accept is what you tolerate. Okay, that's what you're that's what you're tolerating. And so you have to really think about what has meaning to you. What is that one thing? And for me, I've got glue all over me, it feels like. For me, the one thing that how I look at things, and the one thing that's kept me going, is strengthening the core. Now, what does that mean? What does strengthening your core mean? Well, your core is very much who you are. Right, I've got my notes here. It is who you are, and it's your essence. That's the word I was looking for, essence. It's about who you are, to your essence, your core, the very fabric of who you are. So I don't really hear, I don't know if, or have you heard of people talking about the fabric of who you are? The fabric of who you are is all of those things that make you unique, that make you so special and so different from anybody else. Now, we know that we were made in the likeness and the image of the Creator. We know this, but do we accept this? This is why we're talking about acceptance this morning. Do we accept the core of who we are? Right? And this is really Tuesday's truth, is to make you think about who you really are at your core, at the threads that. So if you imagine a piece of cloth is not just a piece of cloth, is it? It looks like a piece of cloth. You'd call it a piece of cloth, and all different pieces of cloth are different, but they've got different colors, they've got different feels, they've got different, and sometimes you can feel something and it gives you an emotion, it makes you feel something. So my thing is, it's about accepting who you are at your core, your fabric, all the threads of you, right? And this is how we transform. The word says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. What does that mean? By the renewing of your mind. Because the thread, the biggest tapestry, if you think about tapestry now, is here. And I always go back to here, the mind, the mind, the mind, the mind. What the mind, what so a man thinks, so a woman thinks, so is she, so is he. That's who you are. What you think about, you bring about. All right? Are we getting this morning, guys? And what you think about, you bring about. So you have to know who you are at your core, your threads. You know, you have to know this. And then it's about pushing and owning now. So when you accept who you are, you take ownership. And this is something that we don't do. And this is why this is Tuesday's Truth. We accept everybody else's threads, but we very rarely accept our own. All right? So this is wake up today. This is a wake up call. It's you've got to really look at yourself, and we go back to the same things. You got to look at yourself and own who you are. The problem we have is we expect everybody else to own who we are. We have to accept who we are unapologetically. Do you hear me? Unapologetically. We have to own this greatness. We have to own this essence of royalty. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. We have to own this royalty. We have to own every thread that we are, that we exude. We have to embrace that. We have to accept, because today is about acceptance. So a man thinks, so is he. So a woman thinks, that's who she is. If you say you can, you can. If you say you can't, then you can't. The acceptance of the core and being unapologetic about who, the threads, the royalty that you are. And in that, what comes out of that is strength. So I've gone all around, because this is the result that it gives you, is strength. Right? Is strength. So the 5 stages of transformation, when you really truly transform, there is an essence in you that you can only call strength. Okay, so I want you to recognize this, that when we do not accept fully, right, this is where self-sabotage steps in, like this. And it's very, very subtle. I want you to understand this. It's very, very subtle. And this is why I'm talking about, I brought up the analogy of being, the analogy of the cloth. Because cloth comes in different shapes, sizes, it comes in all different manners to us. So there is cloth that's rigid, there's cloth that's supple, because of what it's got in it. Right? So we have to know what we have in us. Be unapologetic. If you are gentle, don't apologize for being gentle. Be who you are. Accept. Because if we don't accept us as who we are, why should anybody else accept us? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, accept your greatness, recognize your patterns, and stop, and the patterns of stopping as it pushes past your limiting beliefs. Now, self-sabotage comes from limiting beliefs, the limit that you and we put on ourselves. That's where self-sabotage comes from. And that's what we were talking about, the inner critic last week. We were talking about that. And that's all part of the process. So if you are struggling with that, then I'm going to say, go back to last week. We did a whole week on the inner critic. And use those tools, use those tips to help you through those. But I wanted to say, the final thing, one of the things that help us to accept who we are at our core is giving ourselves 100% permission to be who we are. Unapologetically. I like to break that word down into so many different syllables, because there are so many reasons why we shouldn't apologize for who we are. Unapologetically. See how the neck have to move? Give it some attitude, because we are who we are at our core, at our essence. We are royalty. Do you hear me this morning? We are royalty. And that is what I'm leaving you with this morning. I'm leaving you with this acceptance. Accept who you are. See who you are. Be who you are. Know that who you are is royalty. It's not a belief. It's a knowing. This is where you transform. It's a knowing. I hope that you have had, this has been helpful to you this morning. Right. We've got some responses on the Facebook, and so I'm gonna let you see what has been written. Right, Barbara saying exactly what it means. I've taken this attitude and others have seen the glow, the energy, the confidence in me, my newfound self-love, self-worth, acknowledgement of my limitless potential spurs me on to continue. Apologies for the long message, but I must reiterate and agree with everything Yvonne says. I completely identify with the entire process. Amen to that. Amen. Amina says, absolutely give ourselves permission. Barbara says again, I am unapologetically me. I am a queen. Amen. Amina saying, it drives me crazy when we keep saying what we believe, then say, I'm sorry. Why? Exactly. We've got to watch what we say. Remembering that life and death is in the power of the tongue. We've got self-sabotage, be there for others, build others' dreams, accept our own. I am royalty. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to thank you all for joining. I hope that you got something from the truth this morning. I'm going to be back here tomorrow for Work It Wednesday. There's work to be done, guys. And we're going to come back with part 3. All right, part 3. But I want you to understand your strength, your inner core, your inner threads. Oh my goodness, I want you to understand this. When we come together like this in the morning, it is for us to build each other and for us to expand. And very often, in most case scenarios, when I come on, I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm given the download on the Monday and we go, and sometimes open on the Monday and then it comes. We have to allow the spirit in us to have space to move. And that is to accept when you accept the greatness, you accept that you don't always know the answers, guys, but the answers come through you from a different source that is greater than you. Do we understand what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get so deep that you don't that I lose you, but I want you to understand that you come from a creator and that you have the same ability as where you've come from, what has produced you. Yeah, a horse, a thoroughbred horse, will mate with another thoroughbred horse and produce another thoroughbred horse. So when we come into contact, when we understand and we accept who we are at our core, and we understand that we were created by the creator, then we become unapologetic into who we are. We accept that we too have the ability to create in the same manner. And this is what I want you to understand. Go away with this today, that you are a creator. You are the creator of what is to come in your life, and be unapologetic about it. Be unapologetic when you speak it. Be unapologetic. It's not about being boasty, but it's knowing. And that's where the power comes from. It is in the knowing. We believe, hear me, and the belief comes first. But after the belief, there is another process, and that's knowing. And that is where transformation comes in. So this is your girl, Yvonne Michelle. Very different. I feel like it's very different this morning. I feel that what the download this morning was very, very clear for you to know who you are this morning, what you are here to do this morning, and where you are going on your journey. Have a wonderful day. Have a brilliant day. Let your brilliance shine. Do not dim your light for nobody this morning or today or for the rest of that's a sneeze. Excuse me. Do not this is sorry. Sorry. This is live. Yeah, this is live. This how it goes. Hay fever is real. Right. So my last comment I'm gonna just read out is from Amina. She's saying, bless you. I'm lost. Here we go. She says, we come from the same source, and when we come together, the power is raised to help, absolutely, to help each other. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Listen, this morning, remember who, those of you on Instagram are saying Betty as well, those of you who heard me this morning, you've heard me this morning, have a great day, and know this, that you heard me this morning for a reason. Every time you hear something that stirs your soul, that stirs your spirit, it is for a reason, and do not think it's by accident. You are supposed to take action on that. Remember, ladies, today is the last day to join GEM. Right, it's the last day. Thank you. It's the last day to join GEM. Make sure that you get on board. Make sure that you get on board. We've got quite a big conference coming up soon. So, as I will always say to my loved ones, be safe. You are loved. And I shall be back again here tomorrow at 9 o'clock on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube with Morning Inspiration. Have a wonderful day. My blessings to you. My blessings to you. Ciao.